Listeners, I want to say good morning, listeners, and welcome to your program where we decide for call People and Power. Now, Up Radio 93.3 FM, live now we stand up broadcasting us back of Rails Hotel, McKinney, Kabbalah Highway. The program also voice then the meet with influence and the place also with the felt how power they shape the daily life and serve how people in turn they shape power. Me the present this morning, my name is Mahamud Fafana. This morning, we'll talk about the role of citizens for hold and leader them accountable and ask why accountability important in a democratic society. And at the same time, ask or watch of the three ways them where citizens for hold and leader they accountable and how free and fair election they promote accountability and serve how the media they play the role for all leader them responsible for their action. Join me now the next 55 minutes as we go get and hear the stories, perspective, and real life experience as we shape the delicate balance between people and power. Me represent Mahamud Fofana, like I say, and would expect to get we studio guests with income. We're going to introduce them into the program. All time online, me analyst and me company with the Batsume for let we get things right when it comes to this conversation. Now, Jonathan Pangu. Now, when it's time for established communication with him, let we take the conversation from him, and then when my studio guests come, we take them from there. Jonathan, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mahmoud, and good afternoon to listeners every day.
All right, Jonathan, we talk the
Yes,
program now, like all time people and power, but let me look at how power and people relate before we come to the conversation proper one.
well, if you look at how power and people relate, then we look at the system of how people they get power in Sierra Leone. We definitely get to pay attention to what we call social contracts. Waiting at this social contract presenting manifesto. Out of that manifesto, now they the one way now the people the way they vote for give you the power, they look at it and say, well, the idea where you get where you sell so it's very, very good. Very, very good. And we see say suit sweet to waiting. We they look for let we vote for you and for give you the power. So in other words, where we they look at them things and they get for bring two aspects. One, the social contract. Waiting at the social contract. That vote where you they go put for that person where you believe say, now you they give the power. Now contract you they sign with them to some extent. No, now make way they say for votes during election. Now a credible process you they go with. Legitimate process. Waiting at the legitimate process. Yeah. One, it they prove say you a Sierra Leonean, you get a national ID card. Two, it they prove say you a person within your mindset, you don't able make decision on your own. Where go make them say, who that 18 years, now you get right for vote. Then the other thing also, that place where you go place you vote, whether na signature you tick or now you fingerprint you put by that paper. Now in the contract where you don't sign with that person who wants the power, when are the manifesto we carry to you, so that at the end of the day, on our two don't get a social contract say where you can have power. The thing the way you talk say you do, the ideology where you get, the simple things and way you try for say, if they pan that contract and I vote for you. So me and you definitely don't go into contract. So now you can make citizens and then they give legitimacy to government through elections, not to election no more say, through taxes, through the obedience to law. So in return, government for also make sure say, then they protect the life and property, provide basic food when I get for do with education also, get for do with health care, we also get for do with shelter. So also for uphold the constitution, for respect with civil liberties, for ensure say justice, then they give justice equally and the opportunity to everybody. So when we talk about people and power, how people for all government accountable, now there's social contract there where every citizen they go sign with government for say yes, by your manifesto you talk say, you they give you civil liberty, by your manifesto you talk say, you they provide you basic services like food, security, education, healthcare, shelter, anyone now we are dead. I know that also if for all the constitution, waiting at this constitution, the law of Sierra Leone, where now parliament they legislate and the judiciary they oversee say their law they are coming to effect. So when the leaders they don't fail in their obligations there, the citizen no get only that moral rights they would look at. Not to only civil rights, and they will let people know say where the whole government accountable not just moral rights or civic duty. Not to civic duty that no more. It demand accountability because at the end of the day, now a social contract they do. So when government don't betray the social contract, now can make like then social contract now can make like but man they prioritize political survival over them public welfare. You go see some man they go first for no more empathy kind of power because it they not say then see how we don't do in a social contract where government don't betray one week they go to all kind way. Another thing we go do then go look at say then they restrict the civic space for the citizen because you know say that man the way be wants power he go sign this contract he need them from her we want that vote they turn out the one whole country of Sierra Leone even Mongo even Sanda Mabolonto you can notice say voting box they reach now they extreme than they but at the end of the day development no they reach now them part of the country then they but why them box then they reach it so we they look at the aspect then they if we look at to Sierra Leone now then challenges they are we get especially when we look at the Sierra Leone people party because they argue say waiting in the fed for right now one when they don't kind of power when they promise we now them manifesto say then they uphold the constitution now look waiting they happen professional representation system whereas then do consultation majority say they not buy the favor so waiting then they do now then they force the way because
all right.
people
Look, we look at we
betray the power.
We look at the role of citizen for all and leader they accountable. So now, first of all, let me start with accountability. Or let me start first with the role where citizen gets for all the leaders are accountable. Now, into the two perspective, we don't forget we still guess where we come when a legal person, but into the let me look at the right force. Let me take it from the rights. The 1991 Constitution of the Sierra Leone guarantee fundamental human rights in chapter 3, section 15 to 30.
Freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
We talk about right to life, liberty, security, private property, and free expression, assembly, association, regardless of the race, the tribe, or the sex. These are rights that we say for protect discrimination.
Because if you don't tell somebody, say, where I can have power, at the billboard. If you don't tell somebody, say, what kind of power, I go can work on the economy. If you don't tell somebody, say, what kind of power, now this year they can. So waiting at the power where that person get. Because if you don't sign that contract with you, and it then at the constitution one for civil liberty, we talk about rights to life, rights to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association. Where that not only with Constitution of Sierra Leone talker. If we look at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, now the UN Charter, they all them things there. So then fundamental principle there, citizens don't lost their rights then they to some extent that look what happened August 10, 2022, where protests erupt in Africa. Although yes, many people don't view and say it gets a political undertone. But there are also people who maybe also get a genuine intention. We make the thing escalate from, protest to insurrection to even riotous conduct. Because then we look at say then thing and especially where they happen in other areas, then the economic hardship in there. The government in they describe insurrection now while others they describe and say now ordinary protest for against the rise of living things. But also, if we look at examples of other countries, we don't see outside citizens the whole government accountable. Look in Liberia in 2019 to 2020, people in common as street for camp protests. Then come out, if they even be they take stone, then they stone policeman there. Waiting former president of Liberia, the winner George Weah. He get that he called the police there. He said before I go fire tear gas for them people there. Una go buy water na them factory there. Waiting and do now. Once the people them be the stone, then they go beg them, then they take water, then they give them one by one pound at drink. So una at school. At the evening, the man go na radio. He come on at the radio, people then still say, well, it cannot be seen day, now that the stadium. He talk to people who beg, they say, but we know say cost of living crisis very, very much. But yeah, on our patience we now the global economy, it's not easy for we. That citizens can understand. But then we bring this back to Sierra Leone. Supposing you, now you they come now so say, I'll get this now my rights to information. Thomas Babadi, they all come out now. They say, but 2023 election, but come and say again irregularities. We can seek clearance to the police so that we go lead the protest. We're not to APC Thomas Babadi Day. Good. So at the end of the day, what's happen? When the man go to police, they invite him for questioning, they lock him up. We don't see certain things in the way they happen at the country. The people they not get that point. So say go say yes, I have the rights. Yes, we get the rights. It ain't a paper, a right. But we not see how they come into effect. That's all the one the way they try for, express how they feel about government, for all government accountable. But nothing to the point say before ever that government they can have power. If you don't sign a social contract, where you can have power, now this, now that, now this, or this, blah, blah, blah. For example, I am not here for be APC spokesman. I just give you a clear example for make you able understand my point. Before we get the tripartite recommendation, where the tripartite committee for the agreement of national unity signed, right? Where the APC say then believe say the rogue election. Government of Sierra Leone say they no rogue election. Where we've been reached to a point that we they get one party system now the legislative arm of government where the APC say they know they participate. At the end of the day, moral guarantors then come. Where the moral guarantors then come, then say let we sign a paper, let we come look at smart protocol. Let we see the law knows I go wrong, we solve them. Then carry it is something recommendation. Out of the recommendation, they talk about electoral reform. They talk about a way where they get the electoral system so that doubt not go there. The people will get trust in the system where they come. Now wait here happen now. The APC then believes the one way they don't carry it as the chief electoral commissioner. Now the one person will be take part for all the bad you way they happen inside the 2023 elections. So at the end of the day, if we look at them contract there, because now paper they sign, government they hold the thing say yes, this now constitution, they give the president the right, yes. But then say the right way he give the president also a born out of an agreement. You don't tell them people there, say, okay, when I come, they can't do different things. These are the examples so they bring into governance now. People they come and talk, say, you they go promise people them say what kind of power. One I go work on the economy. I remember President Joe vividly. Me not they go into SLPP manifesto. I get what they make reference to. If you go on YouTube, you go download the 2018 election debate. President Bill talk complain say they tire for let the people of Sierra Leone for the buyers 250,000 only from 60,000 for 2007. They talk about expense. They talk about unnecessary spending.
The role of the citizen, none of discussion.
But how people go all government accountable in their spaces they are. Well, we the citizens they not get the space. If you get the space, who say you go all government accountable?
All right, and that's the discussion. For look at the role. For look at the role of the citizen. Like I've been saying into the program, Paul Kamara, now a lawyer, we don't join me inside the program. Good morning and welcome to People in Power, Paul.
Good morning, listeners, and a very good morning, sir.
All right, Paul, when you look at the role of citizens for all and leader they are accountable. First of all, from the legal background, waiting that law the way put in place for make sure say the people are able to ask the leader they get the free will.
All right, thank you very much. I want first for express citizens them get their own defined roles and also then get them defined rights then. When you go to chapter 3, it provides for the right of every citizen. But then can normally say to every right there is a responsibility. For we will read journalism, they tend the way people in the cry say they want press freedom. Then tell them say, okay, we move from the totalitarian theory to the Soviet authoritarian theory. We move to the libertarian theory where then we want to forget freedom. And the last one, they say, why would they go at this freedom? But this freedom has to go with social responsibility. And so the responsibilities of citizens for ensure say the all governments accountable or for making them talk to government about their needs, about what they happen. It cannot be overemphasized simply because 1. Section 11 of the Constitution provides for the establishment of the press. And one of the fundamental roles of the press are for give voice to the voiceless, we can normally hear. Another na for play the watchdog role. And this watchdog role here simply means the press gets the responsibility for all government accountable, not as a judge, but rather as a whistleblower. They raise the necessary concerns, things wey no dey go on well in society, and from there, government dey under obligation for ensure say dem do the correct thing. Another very important issue wey need for be noted na if you go to chapter 2 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, it provide for the roles of citizens. And one part of the roles of every citizen na for let we respect the national symbols dem. And for let we ensure say we cooperate with government for pay taxes. And for let we ensure say we maintain public orderliness. And for let we ensure say we not do anything wey dey undermine the interests of Mama Salone. These are all na the responsibilities that we get as citizens. However, the responsibilities also dey go with benefit. And then benefit also government, by virtue of section 4 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, get obligations, and the obligations they also must be strictly followed so that the interest of the people then go be sought. If you, for example, you look at section 97 subsection B of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, it provides say members of parliament not for alienate or not for do anything where they make them alienate themselves from wetin the people they want.
Wetin alienate na Creole?
For pull themselves come out, for disassociate themselves, for say, well, now you be send me, but by virtue of this conduct, certainly it go appear like say not to me send you. Because if I tell you to go buy Maggi, where you go, na pepper you go buy, it's like now you send yourself.
Okay.
That's what feel like. So most of the time, citizens can be faced with their challenges here. And the most important thing is this chapter 2 where I make mention of, it go shock people and for no say by virtue of section 14, a not justiciable. In law, they say a right is not justiciable. It means if government violates, you cannot take them to court. The law not empower you for take government to court in the event they violate some of them principles. They also chapter 2. That's a very major concern. So I feel like I hold it as a view that citizens get right, and their rights and they just like we had outlined some of them. They need to be strictly adhered to, and also the obligations them. Citizens, we must ensure that we make Sierra Leone a better place together.
How important for the citizens them all the leader they are accountable for the best interest of the country?
To be very honest with you, the leaders them like creature of the people. Now the people them vote them in. Now the people them reposed confidence in them. And so when you get into that hem of affairs, you have to bear in mind that not to yourself you go represent. You are there as a representative of the people. And so being a representative of the people, it means say, not to what you want, you dey go do. Rather than waiting the majority of the people want. And most of the time, they can normally say what the people they want. Then the issue of the common good comes into play. If you think say and make this road where they lead to me house, when I minimum and my family members they access this road, then another scenario, I make this government hospital road where thousands of people get for the access them between them two then they, which one will be a common good interest? It could be the one where they lead eventually to the road where they lead eventually to the government hospital. That shows that the issue of waiting the people they want, the constitution clearly defines them. But this issue of holding government accountable is very essential simply because now me give you power and you have to be accountable to me. Now that make, if you look at section 11 of the constitution, it says there shall be a press we shall be empowered to ensure that the fundamental principles enshrined in the constitution, and the fundamental principles they also include the rule of law, separation of power, protection of their fundamental human rights, supremacy of the law, equality before the law, for ensure say checks and balances in there. These are the fundamental principles of the constitution. And the constitution further say, and to that extent to all governments accountable. How do you hold government accountable? One, where you create platform for people and for talk. Two, the agenda set in theory. You know them can normally say, we will read journalism, they can normally say, the media does not tell the people how to think. Rather, the media tells the people what to think about. So then tell you about the situation, like what you depend so. Now you depend present the situation to the people. It left to them now, the APC people now go they say, this post will depend talk now. What do you want for you? He may depend talk. While the SL people now go they talk say this, it's like what they talk now too. This it's like say na APC person because just they talk like wetin Mr. Pangu be dey talk this one. Say you know they come as a spokesperson, rather they come for talk the truth. So this is how people perceive. They want to know they talk the truth. So your government accountable by creating platforms for people and for letting their voices and be heard. The another way is by ensuring that you play the watchdog role. You call out ills them in society. Things want to go on well. Media junction, for example, we can. Bentas. You dey see it create a caricature of the reality. It dey present in a way where the ordinary man will know say yes, Ebo, it's so sad that before now we be get a set of leaders that will be they condemn the previous regime. They say we need a new direction, and if this new direction don't come now, today will be the buy rest 250, now they buy rest up to 800. Is that a new direction? Is that, well, it could be a new direction, but is that how it's supposed to be by the nomenclature given to that type of leadership? So these all are questions you all need to ask yourself, and also for members of parliament. Now that make me, for one, I'm not today in favor of the PR system. You know why? Because the PR system, no, they, in me own view, no, they give an opportunity to the people and for own the members of parliament. Them. You not give them the opportunity for interact with them that kind of way, as opposed to the previous system of parliamentary system when
the
constituency base. When I one day you don't say 60s are constituency 96. If you not do something, when election come, whether the APC, the SLPP will vote against them.
Yeah.
Or you don't do well, we need for maintain them. But now, how can you all liable somebody in this PR system where the PR system they empower members of in me understanding and me perception, don't empower the members of parliament for be more loyal to them political parties than them people them. Because how you political party present you, and so you get chances for be member of parliament. Not so like the people anymore. Because it is like saying, I need for satisfy my party leadership more than, and the constitution also provide for section 77(1)(k). It provides say no member of parliament not for alienate himself from
in people.
Not to the people in political party. Then call one the anti-party clause. And that section 77 they against section 97b we talk say members of parliament not for alienate themselves from the people. So the same constitution gets one or two challenges them, where at one point it is say this and at another point it is say a different thing altogether. And this is concerning. So the issue of holding your leaders accountable is as of right. You know, we call them ex debitio justitia. Ex debitio justitia simply means as of right. It is a must. It behooves the government. You cannot to them put yourself say 2028 just now we see we go for see all the leaders and go for the carrier lay around we. They begin campaign. Una vote for me. Una do this. Why? Because them things that we able give them the mandate we then get to this. And if now we able give them their mandate, it means we have to hold them accountable. You have to give account of your leadership, of your stewardship. And this draws my attention again to the recent appointment.
We understand the candidate, but now I want to ask if what's in the constitution talk about the platform of giving the citizen the free will for acts the leaders them for be accountable, particularly so how protests come in and why you think if protest is not allowed, what's the other channels and way citizens for use and waiting do the leaders them for allow the citizen for express that one day in their own way.
You know, I have to be very honest. See, we leaders them, most of we leaders in this country, I would say they are not reasonable to some extent. And at times they can ignore the reality. See, I know good day around forever. There will come a time where the position where if you say hold today, tomorrow you know the hold am. That is just the reality about things.
Yeah.
No leader not be the way powerful reach President Kamara. Now na President Bio. And whether I like it or not, after 2028, we not go hear anybody like President Bio.
Yeah.
A new leader will go for hear, whether from the APC or from the SLP. That is just the reality.
Yeah.
And it could be saying a new leader there, in the way they think and the way President Bio they think, are two different things. So President Bio irrelevance after 2028, you not go for the game.
Yeah.
That is the reality where politicians they need to accept. So if they put you at the end of affairs, do the correct thing. Make sure say you left a blueprint. Make sure say you left a mark. We go be a lasting one. That is leadership. And so the platform same for ensure say you hold government accountable. It was shocking for no say the issue of protest, for example. Yes, it is not a blanket right. You must follow certain procedures. You for go seek police clearances. But again, for let police refuse la request, it has to be on reasonable grounds. Either because it get the potential of undermine public safety, or the protest is not well defined, or maybe there is no one leader where we go able identify say in the event something go wrong, now you will be liable. But you know, just can't make request to police. Police say no. Police does not have that right. Because freedom of association is provided for in the Constitution. And the issue of freedom of expression, to be very honest, I will say this. You know, our leaders in the king, they don't compromise with institutions to an extent that now we institutions and just they do things where they feel like they want to do. I see no reason why for hold somebody just because it talks say you thief something, or but just because it talks say irregularities that be happen in a particular process. I see no reason for arresting, because section 25 subsection 1 provide for freedom of expression, and if you go to subsection 2, the only instances the way they restrict na right say one, now if you tend for undermine public safety, national security, the reputation of another person, now the 10 and on the ground say down the way they restrict that right thing. But other than that, nobody know for go and say you undermine. You know, as one of the ECOWAS representatives, because I am the representative of ECOWAS in Salon, when it comes to freedom of expression, we have a network of lawyers who call Wanamdela, me na the Salon rep. So everything on freedom of expression at Salon, we're very much concerned, and we ensure say we make sure we remind government of their responsibilities. But it seems like some government officials they find pride in promoting their agenda at the expense of the interests of the people. And so how can you hold government accountable where you're afraid for talk?
Yeah.
When you talk, they turn against you. It's either they use the cyber crime act against you, or they use the public order offense, the public order act against you. And
the Constitution defined the public order acts explicitly, unlike to now arrest the ODC. The Cyber Law Act as well define exactly what it means. But if one come and express your freedom of speech and tell you say the 2023 election gets irregularity, it's something we not hide. Even the international observers they agree say the election will get some irregularity. But if person say now police go hold you, either of the two like you explained, is that in any way undermining the space for ask the leaders and accountable?
For me, this are they even call this hypocrisy. You know why? In 2018, 2019, some senior journalists, including the CEO of this institution, Hope FM, fights for let repeal Part 5 of the 1965. Because as citizens they make you. And once you don't become a leader, whether from APC, NGC, SLPP, once you don't assume that leadership, you're no longer representing a political party. You are representing the people of Sierra Leone. And so the interests of the people of Sierra Leone must be sought at all costs, always. Whether the person we're talking about from Bo, from Kenema, from this morning I'll be telling somebody, lastly, I'll be telling somebody this morning, I say, you see, PPRC, it's an institution where personally me, I got for write an opinion to them. As recent as this morning, I saw a post on social media from the chief minister. They call the APC members of parliament say na disgrace.
Before
You
now,
don't
yeah.
tell a
This
member of
episode was-
parliament, you don't refer to a member of parliament that way. That is very disrespectful. Section 97 section 97 paragraph A give them the power for say if this thing is not going in line with the interests of my people, I have the right to disassociate or I have the right to stay back. So the speaker get right. If you think so you get any concern about them, go pick them up with them through the speaker. And if they present in a parliament and they don't say the members of parliament don't do the correct thing, parliament gets standing orders. Hopefully you go tell a member of parliament say that disgrace. For me, that's very disrespectful. And PPRC is saying nothing. PPRC is saying nothing. But I will tell you for sure, if maybe in another political party member be saying one day, or possibly no influential like me or you too, saying one day, by then tell them it's either PPRC for don't find you, or then for the member now for inviting a CID for investigation.
Don't go away from
And it's concerning, eh?
All right, Jonathan, I want to hear from you in a summary version. From now, we can look at if then space then they be suppressed, what can be next. We'll take some example and see how that happen. But what's now you take so far from waiting Paul Long highlights, particularly so when they come from the law perspective and the constitution.
Yeah, Mr. Kamara, now one person we are getting respect. Not from now, not because we are in power. I come no our kind of making for way SLPP in power before we transit to it. Now one can person even before he be lecturer, before he can be lawyer, he don't be very critical of certain things, especially in the area of rights, citizens' rights, the changes government. Because from that point, and they immediately come up from a journalistic aspect, not to the part of law immediately. Now, how governments how for whole governments are accountable, how you, the journalists, will be a top side to side darkness. For example, what could you keep with the happen inside government system? If they talk about what systems them we make, what about also, just the examples them as well, be clear. We talk about professional representation, all of them. Now, one way we say the SLPP in government power they contract itself. Look at example, this member of parliament now around this Tembe Pala Tembe also. We go and make a video on social media. Say, you cannot use the word say me district or waiting at the word we use. You say me constituency members them inside Kalau district within around Sokoma area, right?
We would try for established communication with Jonathan again. It seems they get some struggling from inside. But we'll establish communication with him. But Paul, if then space here be tightened and limited, what's in the faith of the citizens then?
When you stifle the press, when you suppress the press, now the cornerstone of democracy they suppress. Because all other rights they revolve around press freedom or freedom of expression. And we are not saying the right to freedom of expression must be absolute.
I'm very sorry.
Okay, all right, please. Paul will come and take from there. Yes, continue, please. They can continue now.
So we are not saying the right to freedom of expression must be absolute. Rather, if you limit them, let be on reasonable grounds. Let not be because imagine you go prosecute somebody when there is no complainant. I mean, it's so sad. I've been in a court the other day. One of the questions the way the defense lawyers for Lansan Adumbia raised, he said, who is the complainant in this matter? They said that the IGP. But the statement was not referred to the IGP. It was referred to the presidency. And if you disrespect the president get rights for take action in your own personal capacity. You know, now this situation who they hail we leaders them, like say they kind of know they. That is not what the constitution provides. And I will tell you,
the same thing be happening with that lady we been in at the House of Stars or
yes,
sorry,
our
aunt.
I mean, it's sad.
It has to do.
If I make a statement against 60s, let 60s make complaint against me. But it is wrong for like go na police, you dey see say there was no statement wey dem obtain from the president or the vice or the first lady.
I can ask my lawyer for represent me in a case. Is that so?
Yes.
All right,
Section 23.
So
provides for
it
that.
means I mean for say Paul, that statement this man make against me, and I'm not fine. Get a case for me.
In fact, we get what we call criminal matters, and criminal matters can either be by way of an IGP action, Inspector General of Police action, where we come up from this, we still get them colonial relics them, where they say the state against the state against an individual.
Yeah.
So if you dey institute an action of that nature, you dey go as a complainant. So the matter go be instituted in the name of the state. So now make days already dem dey argue say na the IGP na the complainant. He is not the complainant, but it is being instituted by virtue of wetin the procedure say on behalf of the state. So it is the state against an individual, that the one wey dey stand the trial. For example, the state against Paul Kamara. But if there is no complainant, I mean, it offends the procedures. The criminal procedure rules very clear.
Jonathan.
There should be a complaint.
Yes. Sorry.
All right, so
I'll define and difficult.
Jonathan, would I hear you from the law aspect? What do you think?
Yeah. Like, first of all, what I been trying to talk about, we ask certain questions about the civic space to some extent. How city, then when they are all done block. There was a brilliant idea we come up by the minister, the second minister, where the government of Sierra Leone, where there's a ministry of civic education. Right? One of the thinking we in the get, where now certain things the way they don't push for the constitutional. Now one way for a last resort for citizens. In some extent, wherever they get in town meeting, weekly press conference, they forget representatives from the citizens as well. But most of them civic engagement they are with the game. They see now government officers. They just start like the time we get the Aristotle system or the linear system of communication when I just one way government ministry or MDA or institution forcing the camp, they can speak about certain things. But outside that space they do TV communication. Now communication to some extent, not to one flow of system of communication. People then forget that right thing for who express themselves. Look at the presidential town hall meeting. We have one big example that a lady almost got to get herself arrested for that meeting. The way asked the president certain questions that directly on the face. They attacked that lady. Now it led to one of the politicians also waited he gets problem with where they work with the national broadcaster. So all of them systems then the way we look at them. Which one we go look at say we then they both say yes, they're not open the cities. They don't give us civic liberties for people, for talk, for speak, for express themselves. But then we look at the critical examples that we don't get. You mentioned our hunting case between our hunting first lady. Look our this lady, this university students we get problem with this lawyer, where people they say a mental problem. This lady Jamie was so I don't
Yes.
remember the right name. So if we look at that thing, the critical pathway government is doing this. There is nobody where they show face or take responsibility of their cases there. Not just the state. Who is the state? The state now people are the controller. The state therefore be either the Inspector General of Police. It can be say now the Chief Justice. It can be say now the Minister of Justice. It can be say now any government somebody. So we know able to get that space where they spell out for say this person, if this person don't commit this crime against this person, who die of it? Who die not the state?
Jonathan,
so
what
the person, yes.
Jonathan, what do you think if the space be stifled, if that space be limited? What do you think say can be the repercussion from the citizens then?
Well, the only I will tell you, we know we'll get to situation, so we'll get younger insurrection because people don't decide for protest, then don't block them. Then talk, then they arrest them. And so it's difficult for say that even if you get waiting right to access of information, where you write for get, they even get at the end of the day, you ain't even the right for go let you get information. The police they go invite you back. So all of them spaces, then they need to tell anybody. You see, we're very lucky in Nigeria to some extent. If we look at the French colonies countries that we did within the West Africa, like the Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Senegal, other countries, these people way something more than them. Now they say they come on as streets. They're not even afraid of them. We don't now the thing in this way they resort to coup d'etat. When we don't see in certain areas, they waiting to happen. So when you world, you see, one thing we bless yourself, we Sierra Leone bless about, now the fact is we don't go through 11 years of brutal war. People still get that scar, that wound that they have. So man not always for let kind thing they happen again, especially the one that we feel the pinch, the hard pinch of the war. Like we will be born by them saying they will see. Me, I'm supposed to 5 years. You see, 2008. I don't go school. I've not that I not be young born. I've been in class 1 class 2 I did. I don't go school. So because of that scar, that's the way people engage at the heart. Thank you, Nick. It's all left another. So Sierra Leone is very blessed with the mentality, especially within the album. I can even now tell somebody yesterday. I said, I'm so much glad of the behavior of the military, which happened to me in Sierra Leone. Where if you say you lay down, not going to violence to escalate. And also commend the foreign minister, Timothy Kabako, he stepped away with it. So people still get as scars that they have that. They don't want to reach to that point to say we resort to violence. But me they tell you, say, if you continue to push people, if you continue, now the thing this will happen. Some artists say they the biggest challenge for the Sanko, now we take the wrong method, where they go now. But now most of them things here will be happen every day. Now indeed for the Sanko and others, we form up the revolution United Front. Where they go and say today, they say if the answer crime against humanity, war crimes question. So what do you mean they say? Government need for address them to step there. Whatever thing they do now, they please them to step. I don't feel so we reach to that stage now. Outside citizen, for you look like what happened in 2023 election. But who observe at the court, let somebody talk say you go to the election. If you not to TV, don't talk. Or the president will come out and talk say, hey boys, you know we don't get this agreement of national unity. Don't look at the legal aspect because they don't suppose to do law. But they look at what is necessary to this point. We have to look at certain things and let's go. Let President Kabak, people that come out and tell and say, hey, you know this, that, say, now let them, what's happening? There was no name inside where they don't look more.
All right, Jonathan, with this your voice they come too bad with the struggle, particularly so where we they live on Facebook and radio. We still struggle to get your voice clearly. All right, we'll come to you. You were the listen. The number for call and straight to the points. Now 090-103-808. The number again now 090-103-808. The number now 090-103-808. Now Facebook this Sheikh Kakoma they say, bra we know we country the one then way they na power can anything and can even abuse them can do anything for abuse the people them power. You the listener as well get the opportunity now for joining the conversation. The number is 090-103-808. With a look at that stifle, that space close. Is it that the people go revolt? If they revolt, waiting that the constitution will say them for defend the people or not? Now we don't see the appointment of the appointment and approval of the electoral commissioner. We see some people they say not correct. Is it that the leaders don't be abusing the interest of the people, or which is which? Paul.
Well, to be very honest, the appointment of the commissioner, in my understanding, is not unconstitutional. One law we get our state, it is not unconstitutional. However, the procedures and will lead to the appointment and people get question about. By virtue of the constitution, the president get right to appoint. By virtue of the constitution, parliament get right to approve. But you know what thing? We don't see pictures of this new electoral commissioner where is sit on a SLPP party office. And a position one the way they require for you, where they require somebody for be neutral. And so the concern here is about neutrality. The concern here is about holding or standing by the objectives of ECSL. So if you don't already, the people already get doubts about this person or in this person, they already don't create some serious concerns. And I want to go undermine the credibility of the outcome of whatsoever electioneering process. And so this is just what the people they raise. Say President Biafra don't consider that. And even this new constitution where they try for so provide for a search committee. A committee where they do an investigation into the reputation of the person, the credibility of the person over time, how the person don't conduct himself. Say at a point where the consultation end, then present the findings to the president, all that kind of thing. And they know that.
All right. As a lawyer, I want to bring in the Bar Association into this because they're not a representative now. But you as a lawyer and somebody who represents ECOWAS in this part of the country, if a law day on the process, anything way aligned to that law, waiting the legal people can say, or for waiting the law like the Constitutional Amendment Act now bill now. In the Senate and get search and all of that, they forget the electoral commissioner, and then the president go ahead for nominates, and then other parties endorse, and then parliament will approve now. Is that in any way procedural or breach to undermine the amended constitution already?
Well, all we understand, say, this constitution is just on the verge for amendment. No amend it.
Yeah.
So we mean say not get force it. And so because they amend the law, no mean say the principal law for be suspended.
Okay.
It still gets in force. All the rights them therein, they still follow them. However, because of the sensitivity of this particular appointment, and more so where it come out from the tripartite recommendations, say there must be a neutral person. Because the APC and other political parties they raise serious concerns when lead to that tripartite committee the recommendations. And for prevent the irregularities and bad things that will be happen, then say they are the processes henceforth for the falla. So I feel like the appointment in my understanding is premature. In the sense where it's so hasty.
So it is legality versus moral.
Exactly. It is not about questioning the president in action.
The procedure. Procedurally,
yes,
correct.
It's correct.
But morally, it gets questioned.
More so where there are recommendations where say, for let we move as a nation, let we follow A, B, and C. So I feel like the president as the moral guarantor of Sierra Leone, the policy way na the fountain of unity, hope and justice in this country, the guardian of the constitution. I feel like if Namibia be in a position, and not for that appoint it, until such a time where let we follow the procedures and where they decide the tripartite. Unless maybe somebody wants me for belief say the president still get an interest in 2028 election. But the president is going. That is sacrosanct.
Yeah.
It is the reality. So I don't see if President Biafra knows he don't do the correct thing. He don't work well for the people of Sierra Leone. I don't see any reason why therefore do anything we go raise suspicion, because this is very suspicious. This way President Biafra and the entire team do so. It's very suspicious. I mean, like I said, we not question the legal aspect. Rather, we just remind Sierra Leoneans and say, we get this moral obligation we owe to ourselves. And Sierra Leone is a moral state. I remember the abortion bill not passed because of morality.
Yeah.
We get certain actions them. Even recently, we get one or two things that they happen in the country where they not execute them because of morality. So I still want for plead with President Biafra, because it's never too late.
It has been approved.
They will revoke them. They have the right to revoke that appointment.
Okay.
So President Biafra, if you listen no more to the cries of people and say, President Biafra, this is not about you. It is about posterity. It is about setting a move where tomorrow you will be proud of. Because trust me, whether President Biafra like it or not, I have to be very honest. 20 years from now, President Biafra not going to be as relevant as he is now.
Yeah.
Even maybe 10 years from now, say, not going to be as relevant as he is now. That is just the reality we need to accept.
Yeah.
Thank God for rich President Biafra for doing your own corner now. They try to enjoy all the things away if he say don't acquire for himself. You know, go one for days, then somebody go dey drag him at the media, begin dey call fit to am. No, if me na be that kind leader dey, I feel like I for remind myself say after 2028 I dey go.
Our constitution dey into this one. The people suppress the space tighten for express them freedom of speech, and then revolution come in. We get killing along the way. We get other mishap way not for be of human rights, and then it come for a resistance from the leaders them. How the constitution interprets that one day as well for holding the people them accountable.
To be very honest with you, sir, I see no reason why police for kill harmless citizen just because he protest. I see no reason for that. Because even the issue of warfare, there are rules. For the principle of proportionality. And they only use arm on you or gun at you. Will you self point gun at me? But there is no evidence. All the people who read and say they don't kill.
Mm-hmm.
Where at any point they say somebody pull gun for shoot police. The police back shoot them in return. I mean, it's sad that we can forget about professionalism and we consider maybe with personal judgment about things. Like Mr. Pangu say, I must commend a captain. Falaba issue.
Not the Falaba issue.
He using judgment correct one. Because how 16 people go shoot at maybe a whole barrage of soldiers them from the other end. That was the correct thing to have done. For me, I must commend him for that. So at times the police if they watch out the situation, they say, no, there is no need. We get other means and pepper spray day. You get other means you can arrest. Tell them they use one water. All that kind of thing there.
So the law they say if Paul hits me with phone, me say for use the same phone for
exactly.
hit and back. But if Paul hits me with phone, then me use stone, me under overweight.
Exactly. That's what the law say.
Moving forward, also I think say Salon go get some rights for lay the people get that space for really ask the leader they're accountable.
The solution to Salon problem hinge on first fixing parliament. If you go to Mr. Umo Fufana in byline or waiting in status in WhatsApp, you say for let Salon go before you have to fix parliament. Parliament is the most powerful organ of government in Salon.
In the next edition, we will look at the authority of parliament in holding seal in the better nation.
Fine. If we fix parliament, we make sure says parliament work how it's supposed to work in line with what the constitution say. All in powers are holding at the constitution. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Salon a beautiful place. Parliament get right to impeach the president.
Mm-hmm.
Parliament get right for call minister to account. Parliament get right for say this matter lo we try so because they get committees and by virtue of section 73, section 76 of the constitution of Salon. They get right for inquire into certain mishaps.
Yeah.
Trust me, parliament is the most powerful organ of government in Salon. And if we fix parliament, Salon problem we don't fix them.
Jonathan.
Yes, Mama.
Where forward you think get some rights for Salon? For let the people and get a free space for ask the leader they're accountable.
Say again, ask the question.
Where forward, where we want for let Salon civic space be free and fair to everybody, so citizens for make sure say they ask the leader they're accountable.
Well, we get Boku way for do one where somebody gets different thing in mind. If you're able to voice out, now the easiest way that we get Boku other way. One, because accountability, government they look at saying a rebellion. Accountability is not rebellion. Protest not to treason. Demanding good governance also not a way of disloyalty to. So what in government for do? The government for look at it is them for ready for accept scrutiny. Because if they don't accept scrutiny, it will weaken democracy. Then if we look at the citizen, where you allow them to remain silent, for less with democracy or the future of democracy go before, it depends on the trust between governments and the people through transparency, the respect for rights. In fact, economic justice. Then also the reforms for then things then they forgive citizens the rights, because now citizens they make people kind of power. If we not give that space, if we not open the space, I'll be very happy with the Minister of Information because with the Ministry of Civic Education, where we all believe say in town hall meetings, in weekly press conference. Now in space to say how then go able to get an exchange of dialogue between governments, people, institutions, also citizens, then self go free. For example, call the one that were in charge of Okada, call the one we talk. Say now this nine they happen. So if we get the reforms there into governance, citizens then go actively participate and all government accountable.
All right, plain thank you to you, Jonathan, for joining me in the program like all time. And like I say, this program will continue as every week we get something where for discuss, for look into the thing where they make salon better. As we close this morning edition of People in Power, remember this. Power not to something where they above we, now something where they with we. If the people in talk, power for listen. And when the people in act, power go change. Make we don't deserve as you present this program na Mahamud Fofana. Plenty thank you to Mitskinja the program where na Paul Kamara where for be a lawyer. And take we through about the law, them way give the people the space, the rights for ask them, leader them accountable. Thank you to the production team na the radio. This edition of the program produced by Ishmael Stalin Bangura and Mamadou Adam Bangura. And to my technical person way na Victor Suma, we make you get way loud and clear at the radio set, and of course now with Facebook page. In case you not follow we Facebook page, it's go Up FM na Facebook page, Up FM 93.3. Follow and like with page. As any program with the broadcast, go there na the Facebook page where you self go take your time for listen. Until next week, we'll go bring come another edition of the program, People in Power. Me, na Mahamud Fofana, stay connected to Hope Radio as more educative and entertaining programs in our world for coming way. And at the same time, be peaceful and follow within the law say, not go against the law. Until then, take care of yourself.